All right. Happy Friday, friends. Welcome to the Community Care Show with your host, Toorsa Asala. My guest today is Christal Marshall. Welcome, Christal. Thanks for joining the show.
Hello, and this is my wonderful husband, Andrew. So we're a tag team tonight.
Wonderful. Thank you guys for joining. So my show is all about a community advocacy show where we talk to folks in the community about their work in the community and how it's making an impact and how folks can volunteer in the community. So tell us more about your organization and the work you do for the community.
So we represent one of four of our businesses. We own Nomad Earth Design, which is a mobile unit. We do reclaimed materials, furniture flipping, tiny homes, you name it. And then he does Handy Annie Fixes, which is a home renovation business. I am CEO, owner of Virginia Marketing and Media. We do everything from social media marketing, logos, you name it. I also own Virginia Photos and Films, and we have a home studio that we mentor local photographers, and we really try to take other businesses under our wings to give them the tools and the mentoring that they need through owning a business, running a business, how that's going to look like. Andrew was able to start his businesses during COVID. Talk about how you started.
Well, I had a full-time job, and I felt like I didn't really want to do it during COVID. Things change, and so I just kind of jumped out and started my own thing and kept going.
Yep.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So tell us more about how folks can get more involved and helping with your cause in the community.
So one thing that we are doing with our businesses, one, we love opening up our property and our studio to local community members, creators, business owners for mentoring, for barbecues. This time during 2020, 2021, we've just seen this split around our area. A lot of people don't want to hang out together, obviously. So creating a safe space for people to come together, first of all. Second of all, our family, personally, we support a lot of local organizations, Young Life, we volunteer. But our business is doing something very, very special. And Andrew, you want to talk about that?
There's an organization in our area called Mercy Drops, and they help the homeless, they help those in need. They provide food, they provide resources, they bring young people from all over, I think all over the United States, because I think they have teams come in during the summertime from all over the area, and these young people come in and serve our community, serve those in need, and we have the opportunity to build them a trailer that has 4 showers in it.
Yep.
And they're going to use that shower trailer to provide showers for the teams that come in, but also for those who just might need a shower in the community and they don't have the access to have shower facilities. You might have seen organizations all over the U.S. that provide these trailers that have showers, and they asked us to build one for them, and so we're taking on that challenge.
Yep.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful to hear, especially now that things are starting to reopen in the community. It's all about volunteering in the community. So a question we have is, I know you're a business owner. So how has the pandemic impacted you guys? And now that things are slowly starting to reopen, how are you guys adapting to the change?
Well, it's because of the pandemic
Yes.
that we have been flourishing in our businesses. I actually started my business because of the pandemic, and because of how things change. You take the opportunity to rethink what you're doing, to look at the reasons you're doing things, and I took it as an opportunity to change my life. And so I stepped out and started a business. Christal actually pushed me. She said, "Here's your business license. You're going to start your business." And I thought, okay, now I got to go do this.
Yes.
But with all the changes, I don't know if you know, there's been a really crazy boom in houses being purchased, and there's a limited supply of homes. And so tons of people are trying to sell their homes, they're trying to buy homes, and all of those people need repairs. So I'm busy because I do a lot of home repairs.
Yep.
And then if you can't find a home, maybe you want to think of a different way to have some sort of a shelter. And that's where we thought, hey, let's think about these tiny homes, because that could be something that happens on the East Coast. It's really big on the West Coast, but not so much on this side of the U.S.
Yep.
So we're trying to kind of be on the frontier of that over here.
And then with me, before COVID, we were doing weddings, pretty much 25 to 30 weddings a year. And we were, voted like top wedding photographers in Virginia Beach or whatever. And then right before COVID, obviously all of that changed. I had to really dig down deep and try to teach digital marketing, try to get people online, try to mentor other people and other businesses. So I went from weddings to corporate media, pretty quickly. I was handling 14 social media accounts during COVID, helping people get online, helping people set up their e-commerce stores. And then with that, I had so many young business owners and young photographers were like, hey, how do we do this? How do we do this? And then that turned into mentoring, that turned into coaching, that turned into me teaching photography and teaching these things. And so now I just mentor full time. Which is awesome. Yeah.
That is awesome. Mentoring folks is definitely one of my passions personally, because I've been volunteering in the community for the last 16 or so years. So my question for you guys is, what advice would you have for the younger generation of folks who are seeing all these folks that are out and about in the community, but are kind of stuck as to like what they want to do for the community?
That's a good one.
What do you want to do? I would say think about some of the things that you love to do.
Yep.
And what we need is people who are excited to be alive.
Yes.
And take that excitement for life and pass it on to other people.
Yes.
And they'll see your excitement, and maybe that'll spark excitement in them.
Yep.
And also sharing what you love to do with others.
Yes.
If you can share something with somebody else, then it like creates some community.
Yep.
And we don't feel the isolation. We don't feel like we're just individuals in this individualistic society, but we're all a part of something.
Yeah.
And when you feel like you're a part of something, I don't know how to explain it, but you come alive.
Yes.
You come alive when you feel a part of something.
Yep.
And I think what all of us want is human beings who are alive and not sad, dead, and depressed.
And
right.
Right in the midst of COVID, like, every Friday, Saturday, we do like family time, we do pizza night, we do barbecue, whatever. We go online, we invite people over to the house or, whatever. And so usually on a Saturday, we're making stuff in our backyard, we're building stuff. And so we're making like bonsai planter boxes in our backyard. We homeschool, so we have a lot of things, going on in workshops. And we had a friend DM us like, hey, can I come over? And so we got him in this impromptu workshop, bonsai making workshop, and he was storying about it the whole time. And so he went on his followers and was like, anybody else want a bonsai planter workshop like with them? And he got all of these responses, and he's like, I want to do a workshop that's how to make this. And we have a lot of requests for people that just want to make things with their hands and learn how to make things and learn how to build things and learn skills and learn trades. And I think it's great. We love it.
Yeah, it's always good to have the hands-on approach as far as like getting those skills and do things. I know a lot of organizations are, now that things are starting to reopen, are trying to figure out like a plan as far as like, okay, how can we engage young folks to get more involved in the community? So tell us more about the work that your organization does as far as like during when the pandemic started. I know obviously before the pandemic started, um, everything was working to normal, like going to far, like everything was open, everything was working, and then suddenly the pandemic shut everything down. How have you guys adapted from the whole work from home process as far as like being in person and gathering the folks and really making a difference in the community?
My business is working in other people's homes. So I've just gone from home to home,
Right.
and just done their repairs.
Right.
It's crazy. I don't know whether or not I've had the virus since the pandemic started, but I've been in tons of people's homes working on their, on their bathrooms or on their doors or shutters or whatever it is they need repaired. And I think me coming to a lot of their homes has just been good for them too, because they get to talk to somebody. They get to see somebody in person.
Yep.
And I'm not necessarily scared to go say hi to people. Yes, I'll have my mask or we'll keep our distance, but it's been good just to have conversation.
Yeah.
To see another human face.
Yeah.
In real life instead of video like we are right now.
Yeah, right.
And so it really hasn't, I don't think it's changed much for me during the pandemic. I can't work from home doing my job.
Yeah, my heart goes out to all those folks in the community that have to be out, have the labor drones that are out there in the community, and how the pandemic has impacted them. Because I know some of my friends work for a few labor companies, and they've indicated to me that they had to lay off a lot of people because there wasn't really a lot of people were like still trying to get their wrap on their COVID. It's like, okay, how can we move forward from COVID? So my show is all about being encouraged. Christal, do you have any the information about your organization?
Yeah, I mean, personally for me, I've always had a heart for young moms, especially single moms, because that's usually the people get attracted to me as a business owner are single moms that want to learn a trade, that want to learn a skill that they can pass on to their children and provide a decent income while working from home, while being able to be on their own time, their own schedule. And so I think during the pandemic, I had workshops every weekend with different single moms in the community that wanted to learn photography, wanted to learn their own business, wanted to do that. I was fielding text messages all the time. How do I do this? What program do I use? And so I was constantly trying to bring my knowledge and gifts to other people that maybe couldn't afford a university mentorship or a university college education in photography or whatever. And, we are self-taught completely. And so we have a passion for passing on knowledge, for mentoring, for coaching, because we had to learn from YouTube. Okay.
YouTube is always everyone's best friend. Like it's I know I learned podcasting through YouTube, so it's definitely a good thing. Yes, I mean it's all about encouragement, and for all the young folks out there, just get out and volunteer. Like do something to make an impact. I know a lot of folks are probably stuck as to what they want to do. So what advice I'd have for those folks is just find your passion. Like find what are you good at? Maybe you're good at drawing. Maybe find an internship in that capacity, because you want to mentor the young folks so they can be guided in the right direction, so they can have a better future. Because I know now that I'm pretty sure the majority of schools are back in person now, but I know it's been a burden for a lot of parents working from home with kids that are running around because there's no education. So, Christal, what advice would you have for those parents that are really still struggling to get back to it, as far as like the working class now that things are slowly starting to reopen, but there's still some restrictions, and they're still stuck at home with their kids.
Yeah. And I think that's the number one thing that I really did a lot of consulting in the season, because we've been homeschooling since our daughter was like 3 and she's 10 now. And this was before the pandemic. So we were doing things that nobody else was doing. And even my dad was like, hey, I love you. I'm always going to support you. But why are you wasting a master's in education being at home with your kids? And I'm like, you don't know. You don't understand. And then, 7 years later, he's like, hey, can you mentor someone? So anyway, we have a joke about it now. But this whole season, I've been getting calls and like, how do I do this? And is my kid learning? And how can I be a better teacher for them? What do they need? What are they lacking? Like, and I'm telling people on the phone, like, just go outside with your kid. Like, just have them walk around, have them play with sticks, just do simple reading time. Like you don't have to pay for $1,000 program. You don't have to have them in a fancy camp. You don't have to have a au pair come to the house. Like, just cook with them, clean the dishwasher out with them. Like, live your life as you're going to the grocery store. Talk about prices, talk about sales, talk about percentages, whatever. Like, whatever it takes to just get them living and working integrated in your life. And I think that's what we try to emphasize in our house a lot.
Yeah, and just watching Christal from my perspective, it's like the simple things are very powerful in our development. When we complicate things, they become complicated. If we keep things simple, then I feel like life is more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I can tell you a lot. I can tell you a lot of folks. I was actually, for the first time in like a year, I actually went out and about today, and it was good to see like so many people back out and about and out in the community and doing their thing. But at the same time, a lot of people really enjoyed the work from home style, where they were at home and they didn't have to go anywhere, any field or anywhere. So those folks, hey, look, folks, you can still work from home. Like, it's not like a thing where, okay, now that the pandemic's over, I have to go back to my office. So that's just a personal option. So, Christal, we only have a few minutes left. Do you guys have any parting words about your organization?
You can go first. Let me think of mine.
Okay. I think there's just so much good that needs to be done. And I think people get really overwhelmed, like, oh, well, I can't make a difference in the world. Well, just start in your house with your neighbors, with your next door neighbor, maybe with the homeless ministry down the street, or within driving distance, or somebody down the street had their house caught on fire. How can you bring a bag of groceries? How can you bring a milk train? Something simple. It doesn't have to be. You don't have to be a 501c3 to make a difference. And I think that's something that we've really trying to teach our kids about. Like even last week, we were at a free grocery giveaway for Chesapeake at a local church that literally just had groceries lined up on huge tables. And then the people from the community just walked in, grabbed a bag, grabbed soup, went down the line, and we were, we all had a table, me and the kids, and my youngest is 5. So if my 5-year-old can help, there's always something that can be done. So that's what I would say.
And I would say the way I kind of run my business and my life is how somebody who's taught me how to live, somebody I look up to tremendously, he told me just to love those around me like I would want to be loved. Yep. And when I approach every situation with every person that way, then I feel like I can make a small difference in their life, and that will make a difference in my life. Yep. So if we just love each other the way we want to be loved, I think we can start from there and go in a really great direction. Yep.
Yeah, it's all about positivity, and I know a lot of folks I know now that things are starting to reopen, a lot of folks are wondering, okay, what can I do to volunteer for my community? it's the simple question would be just go out and help a neighbor, maybe, or maybe just do something more good for the community, like maybe like a toy drive or like a food drive, or what have you. I mean, just if you're passionate about helping out in the community, just go out and do it because there are a lot of opportunities out there and a lot of people need help and a lot of people appreciate the help. I know before the pandemic, I was out in the community volunteering a lot for various organizations because I just have a driving passion for it. And I've actually mentored a lot of young folks who have came to me and said, okay, how do I map out my future? Because I'm kind of afraid of the future and I don't know what the future is going to look like. And what I told them is, hey, look, that it's normal to be afraid, but you just have to keep the drive rolling and just never give up. Just always follow your dreams and just find what's good for you and that will work. Do you guys have any parting words for all the younger audience that are watching right now?
I would say if you're afraid of something, you should head in that direction. Okay? Because if we're people that are always afraid, then we're gonna avoid greatness. We're gonna avoid the awesome opportunities in life. So if you're afraid of something, that's the direction you need to go with your life. And in terms of volunteering, a couple weeks ago, I volunteered at the food bank. All you gotta do is go on their website, sign up.
That's right.
And you're gonna get accepted to volunteer. Like do one little thing at a time. Life is a step-by-step process. So take a step. Don't be afraid to take a step. Just take the step.
And you have no idea like what's gonna happen. There's no way you can map out your life and know 35 years from now, 20 years from now. Because like when I first graduated college, I wanted to be a principal by the time I was 35. And then, life happens, kids happen, jobs change, stuff happens. Like there's no way that you can know every single thing. And, just have a positive attitude, roll with the punches, learn how to pivot when stuff gets difficult. And that's what we learned during 2020 is just to kind of, okay, let's get up again. Let's roll with it. Let's see what we can do. Let's change. Let's evolve. And I think that's what I would tell young people is like, you don't have to do something for 50 years. Like, why do people want it? I'm going to be this for 50 years. Like, just do this season, help, do the things that you can, and then life might happen and go in that direction.
Yes. So. One of my favorite styles of music is jazz. And what makes jazz sound so amazing is the improvisation. The way the artist can just flow and move in the middle of the music to whatever their heart is pushing them to do. And I think there's a lot of room in life to improvise. And we need to learn how to become improvisers. And when every situation comes, we can move here or there and bend and stretch. And that's going to be for some awesome music. And that's what we're all trying to do together is make music together.
I mean, those are wonderful, inspirational parting words. I really appreciate you both taking the time to join our first actually podcast that we launched today, actually. So thank you guys for joining the inaugural podcast. And for all those that are watching, the Community Care Show is daily. And if you're a community activist or if you just want to come on to give words of inspiration, you can email me at toorsa2020 at gmail.com. We'd love to have you on. I know there's a couple of people watching. Thank you guys for tuning in and commenting and watching. So for folks that are out in the community, just keep at it. Keep volunteering. And thank you, Christal. And thank you guys for joining. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your evening.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Have an awesome night.
Great.